When is the last time you found yourself in a productivity rut or a creative desert? I'm talking about a situation where you want to get things done, you want to create something fresh and innovative, but you just can't seem to muster up the necessary ingredients. In such situations, it's tempting to point to external factors outside of our control. We might catch ourselves saying something like, well, it's a beautiful day, so my mind is at the beach. Or they're doing construction next door and I can't concentrate with all of that noise. Or maybe something bigger is at play. A relationship breakup, an unsettling geopolitical event, or a crazy boss. It's easy to blame things that aren't in our control because it leaves us with no accountability to fix the issue. We're blameless and helpless. Well, today we're gonna bust that fantasy because the truth is that you have a lot more control over the situation than you might think. In this lesson, we're going to discuss how you can take the reins and get things back on track. What is up, Explearners? Mary Daphne here of Explearning.co, where we believe social skills are the key to the good life. What's the good life? It's a life where you call the shots, you have a crew you can count on, and you're on a mission that you care about. Before I jump in, I encourage you to check out our comprehensive small talk guide. Just click the link in the description box below to get the free downloadable delivered straight to your inbox. Okay, so we want to put an end to our productivity slump. And we know that the easiest thing to do would be to blame someone or something else. Not exactly. The problem with that type of thinking is that it won't get you out of your slump. All it does is punt the responsibility to someone or something else. Meanwhile, you're still stuck in the desert, and boy, is it hot. So are you ready for your camel's savior to lead you to the oasis? The solution is simple. Focus on your inputs, and I'll explain what I mean by that. You've probably heard the phrases, you are what you eat, and you get out what you put in, right? Those are at the essence of what we're discussing here today. Consider high-performing athletes. Are they eating junk food and binge-watching Netflix? Not the ones I know. Instead, they're extremely careful about what they eat, and they spend hours priming their muscles and cardiovascular system for optimal performance. Their specialized diet and training regimen are their inputs. It's those inputs that allow them to perform at a world-class level. Now, just because you might not be endeavoring to become a high-performing athlete, that doesn't exclude you from this law of nature. Good writers are voracious readers. Effective engineers spend their free time solving problems. Successful monks seek peaceful, natural settings. You're probably seeing the pattern here, right? People who are good at what they do feast on the ingredients that make them better at their work. Author and creativity expert Austin Kleon puts it succinctly. The problems of output are problems of input. So the key here is to focus our attention on our inputs. And if we can get our inputs right, then we can dramatically increase the likelihood of a positive output. As David Kane of the blog Raptitude says, I like this focus on input because it suggests that we're not directly in charge of our output. Rather, we're charged with the care and feeding of the complex, semi-autonomous system that generates the output. Okay, So now that we understand the vital role that input plays, let's just take it a step further. Why not? Here it is. Not all input is created equal, meaning just having input is not enough. It needs to be high quality input. That makes sense, right? If we fill our time with mind-numbing TV and video games, we can't reasonably expect those types of activities to lead to breakthroughs in our life. The same way you can't expect to run a 6-minute mile without conditioning your body for the task beforehand. So to get back to fixing our productivity problem, if we're feeling sluggish and uninspired, we need to stop stressing about producing and creating. Instead, let's shift our focus to the other end of the spectrum. We need to audit our inputs. Now, a machine can't operate without fuel, right? And since this is ourselves that we're talking about, we want the primo high octane stuff. Your challenge is to figure out what your premium fuel is. For me personally, nothing beats good sleep, healthy food, and high intensity exercise. If I can get all 3 of these things going consistently, I can virtually guarantee myself a productive and creative week. And that's true for most people as well. But we all have a few other special ingredients that are unique to ourselves. I happen to love fantasy and science fiction novels. When I read them, my brain lights up with all kinds of amazing ideas and I get all fired up for my own work. Now, for someone else, that could be building model trains or solving brain teasers or having deep and meaningful conversations with friends and family. The most important thing is that your special ingredient challenges and stimulates your brain. It needs to get you thinking in brand new ways that promote fresh ideas and inspiration. As you start to fuel your mind with nutrient-dense articles, media, books, quality conversation, you'll notice a dramatic uptick in your mood, energy levels, and ultimately your productivity. The ideas will begin to flow through you so quickly that your fingers won't be able to keep up. So that's the secret to breaking out of a productivity slump. To fix your output, start by fixing your input. First, make sure that you're nailing the basics of sleep, food, exercise, and once those things are dialed in, make sure that you're feeding your brain with your special high-octane fuel. And if you don't know what that special fuel is, perfect. Your mission is to figure that out. So now that I've shared our thoughts, I would love to hear your own ideas for jolting yourself out of a productivity slump. What's your special fuel? What gets your brain energized and inspired? Share that with me and the Explearning community in the comments down below. And if you loved this lesson, please be sure to let me know. You can give this video a thumbs up on YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to join our tribe of Explearners so that you never miss a lesson. And if you ring that bell, you'll get notified about our new videos and our weekly live streams. Email this video to friends and coworkers who also want to supercharge their social skills. And while we're at it, feel free to also share it with your friends on social media as well. And remember, the write-ups of these lessons are always available on our blog at explearning.co/blog. With that, have an awesome week, Explearners. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time for your next Explearning lesson. Happy Explearning!